Hi crochet friends, welcome and welcome back to Alice's Crochet Corner. Today we'll be crocheting a water bottle holder using the V-stitch. This is one of my favorite stitches because it's easy to learn, fun to work with, and creates a very beautiful lacy effect. Without further ado, let's get right into it. For this project, I am using 10 ply 100% acrylic yarn and I used about 80 meters. I crochet it with a 3.5mm crochet hook. It's good to have 2 stitch markers handy for us to mark where we want our strap to go, pair of scissors, and a darning needle. Let's get started. We will start by creating the base for our water bottle. To start, we're going to create a magic ring, and how I like to do mine is I hold the tail end of the yarn underneath my thumb and I grab the working end of our yarn and place it across our 2 fingers. Insert our hook underneath the first strand and grab the one at the back and twist. Then I grab my yarn at the back again and pull through. And I can remove the tail end of the yarn to adjust, and that is our magic ring done. When we work on our base, we will always chain 2 to start, and the chain 2s do not count as a stitch. So we've just done our magic ring, we're now going to chain 2, and then we will work 12 double crochet into the magic ring. To do a double crochet, we wrap our yarn around our hook, insert our hook through the magic ring and pull up a loop. We now have 3 loops on our hook. We wrap our yarn around our hook again and pull through 2 loops. Wrap our yarn around our hook again and pull through the remaining 2 loops. So you can see this is our first double crochet. We want to do a total of 12. So again, wrapping our yarn around our hook, insert it into the magic ring to pull up a loop, wrap our yarn around our hook and pull through 2 loops, and wrap our yarn around our hook and pull through the remaining 2 loops. And so we will keep repeating this. And so you can see right now we have done 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 double crochets. So I'm just going to go ahead and do 7 more to bring the total to 12. I have worked 12 double crochet into the magic ring, and at the end of each round we should count and make sure we have the right number of stitches. So I'm going to show you how to count our stitches. So we know that the chain 2 at the start does not count as a stitch. So we're going to turn our work and know that the little V's here counts as 1 stitch. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. After we have counted our stitches, we can grab this tail end and pull our magic ring tight to close. And we will do a slip stitch on top of that first double crochet to end this round. So not the chain 2 at the start, but the first double crochet. Right at the top we pull through and we grab our yarn and pull through and pull through again, and that is the end of round 1. For round 2, the pattern is we are going to be increasing in every stitch, and an increase is when we do 2 double crochets. So we're going to start by chaining 2, and again this does not count as a stitch. So in that very first stitch we are going to do our increase. So this is our first double crochet, and because we are doing an increase, we're going to do one more in that same stitch. And so that's our first increase done. So we work an increase into our next stitch. You can see that's 2 stitches in that one stitch. We're going to move along and work another increase into the next stitch. And continue. And then one more time. And so we will just need to continue on exactly what I've just shown you, an increase in every stitch all the way around, and I'll meet you when we're done. I have worked out increases all the way around, and at the end of round 2 we should have a total of 24 stitches. So just do what I did in the last round where we count the V's at the top and make sure that we have a total of 24. And when we are happy with our stitch count, we are going to end this round by doing a slip stitch on top of that first double crochet again. So we'll insert our hook right above at the top, grab our yarn and pull through again. And that is the end of round 2. For round 3, we are going to be doing an increase in every other stitch. So I'll show you what I mean. We chain 2 to start, and we will work an increase in that first stitch. And then in our next stitch, we will only work 1 double crochet. After we have done that, we will work into our next stitch and we will do an increase. And in the stitch after that, we will do 1 double crochet. And then in the next stitch, we will do an increase. And in the stitch after, we will work 1 double crochet. And so that's it. We're just doing an increase in every other stitch as we alternate between an increase and 1 double crochet all the way around. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and meet you after. I have worked the pattern all the way around, and at the end of this round we should have a total of 36 stitches. And to end this round, we will be doing a slip stitch on top of that first double crochet. So again, inserting our hook right above, grabbing our yarn and pulling through, and pull through again. And that is the end of round 3. Depending on the size of your drink bottle and the type of yarn you use, this might be big enough to cover the base for your water bottle. For me, I know I need to do another round so that it can cover the full base. So we're going to start by chaining 2, and the pattern for this round is we will be working an increase, and in between that we will work a double crochet across 2 stitches. So I'll show you what I mean. We're going to start by doing an increase into that first stitch. And then we'll work a double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. Afterwards, we will work our increase again. And then we will do a double crochet in the next 2 stitches. And then we do an increase again. And then a double crochet in the next 2 stitches. And so that will be our pattern for this round as we work all the way around, and I'll meet you when we're done. I have worked the pattern all the way around, and at the end of this round we should have a total of 48 stitches. And when we're happy with that, we can insert our hook right above our first double crochet to do our slip stitch to end this round. And so we have now done 4 rounds of the base, and so I know this is the perfect size for my water bottle. Now if you need to do more rounds so that it does cover the base for your water bottle, I am going to write in the description below what the additional round would be so that it is big enough to fit. But for me, it now fits my water bottle, so I'm going to go ahead and start working on the body. So we will now be starting on the V-stitch pattern. To start, we chain 4, and the first 3 chains counts as a double crochet, and the 4th counts as a regular chain 1. And we're going to insert a double crochet into that same stitches where we've done the chain 4s. And then we will skip the next 2 stitches and work a double crochet into that 3rd stitch, chain 1, and work a double crochet into that same stitch. And then next we are going to skip our next 2 stitches and again work a double crochet into that 3rd stitch, chain 1, and work a double crochet again. You can start to see it's creating this really nice V stitch. So I'm just going to do a few more with you. We'll skip the next 2 stitches, work a double crochet in the 3rd stitch, chain 1, and work a double crochet in that same stitch again. And then we'll skip the next 2 stitches and work double crochet, chain 1, and work a double crochet again. And so that will be the pattern for our body as we work all the way around, and I'll meet you when we're done. And as you work the pattern all the way around, you're going to start noticing that our work is curling, and this is perfectly normal because that's why it's forming the body for our water bottle holder. I have worked the V-stitch pattern all the way around, and we are now back to where we've started, where if we skip 2 stitches, we are back to where we've done our chain 4 at the start of this round. Now to end every round for the body of the water bottle holder, we're going to slip stitch into that 3rd chain. So you're going to remember at the start we did 4 chains, so that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to slip stitch into that 3rd chain, so that's 1, 2, and 3, and insert our hook into that third chain, grab our yarn and pull through again. And you can see it's a very seamless transition from the start and the end for the pattern, and that is the first round for the pattern for our body done. To start round 2 for our body, we will chain 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Again, remember the chain 4 at the start counts as a double crochet and a chain 1, and so then we are going to work a double crochet into this space here. Okay, so we're just going to insert our double crochet through that space that we created in our last round and do our double crochet. So you're going to see that in this next stitch we kind of have a bit of a triangle, so that's not where we're going to be doing our double crochet. We're going to be doing our double crochet into the space of what looks like a V. Okay, so through that space, and again we'll do our double crochet, chain 1 and work a double crochet into that same space that looks like a V. And again, we don't do a double crochet into the triangle, we do it into the V space. So I'm just going to do a double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet into that same space again. And you'll start to see that the V for this round is sitting directly above the V from the last round. I'm going to do it a few more times with you. So again, we are doing a double crochet, a chain 1 and a double crochet into that same space again. Skip the triangle looking space and work a double crochet into the V looking space, chain 1 and a double crochet again. You can see the mesh pattern is starting to come along quite nicely, or I should say the V-stitch mesh pattern, just like that. And we're going to work all the way around, and I'll meet you when we're done. I have worked the pattern all the way around, and as you can see we have our V-stitch sitting right above the one from the prior round, all the way across like so. And so again, to end this round we will be doing a slip stitch into that third chain. So that's our first, second and third chain, inserting our hook to do our slip stitch. And so you can see we have now done 2 rounds of our V-stitch pattern. So I'm going to do one more round with you, and it's going to be exactly the same as what we have done in our last round. And the idea is that we repeat the pattern for the body as much as we need to, so it covers the height for our water bottle. So again, we're going to chain 4 to start. And again, the chain 3 at the start counts as a double crochet, and the 4th chain counts as a chain 1. And then in that space next to it, the one that looks like a V, we're going to work a double crochet again. And we skip the triangle looking space and work a double crochet into that V stitch space. Chain 1 and then double crochet again, right? And so we can see the V stitches are sitting right above the one from each round. Skipping the next space, we again work into the space after. I'm just going to keep working with you. Skipping that one, next one. And there we have it. We have our V-stitch pattern right above the one from each one. And then we're just going to keep going with our pattern all the way around, and I'll meet you when we're done. And I'm just about done for our round 3 of our body. And when we're back to where we've started, we do our slip stitch into that 3rd chain. So 1, 2, and 3. Grabbing our yarn and pulling through again. And that is the end of 3 rounds for the body of our water bottle holder. So right now, this is how the water bottle holder is fitting across the body. And you can see the V-stitch is making this really, really pretty. So I'm going to repeat exactly what we have done for our body all the way up to about here. So we leave about 1 centimeter from covering the entire body. And we're just going to repeat as many times as we need until we have covered most of the height for the body of our water bottle. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you when we are done. I have finished working on the body part of the pattern, and look how beautiful it looks when it covers our water bottle. I'm really, really happy with it. So I just wanted to explain the reason why I didn't crochet up until past the top of the water bottle is because when you use it and wear it, because of the weight, it is going to naturally stretch. And I like how when it stretches, the water bottle holder covers just about the top of the water bottle. But if you wanted to cover it completely, then feel free to do more rounds of the body until it covers it completely if you like. Now that we have finished with the body part of the water bottle holder, we're going to work on our straps. So to start, we are going to chain 2, and this does not count as a stitch. So in that same stitch, we are going to work 1 double crochet. And what we want is we want our bag strap to spread across 5 double crochet stitches, because I find that that's wide enough to hold the weight of the water bottle. So we've just done that 1 double crochet. We're going to do our 2nd double crochet into that space, because I find it really difficult to do a double crochet into that chain 1. So it's easier to do it in that space. We're going through that space to do our 2nd double crochet. Then our 3rd double crochet is just going to be right above the one from the last round. So inserting into that. Our 4th double crochet is going to be through that space again. So that triangle space. And then our last double crochet is going to be right above the double crochet from the last round. So you can see that the 5 double crochet gives us that width, and that is going to be how wide our back strap is going to be. To continue, we are going to chain 2 and then turn our work. And because the chain 2 does not count as a stitch, we will be working a double crochet into the stitch underneath it. So right there. Okay, so that's our 1st double crochet. This will be our 2nd. And so you can see I'm working along the stitches. This will be our 3rd. our 4th, and then this is our 5th double crochet. And so you can see we have now done 2 rows of the bag strap, and it's creating that length that we need. To start row 3, it's going to be exactly the same as what we've done. We chain 2, turn our work a double crochet into that stitch underneath it, and all across a total of 5 stitches. And there you have it. So we have now done 3 rows, and what we want to do is repeat that as many times as we need until it reaches at a length that we like to connect to the other side of our water bottle holder. As we work on the strap, just keep in mind that the water bottle holder and the strap will likely stretch. I have done a total of 71 rows of our strap, and it measures at about 108 centimeters. When we are happy with the length of our strap, we're going to go ahead and work on attaching the strap onto the other side of the water bottle holder. So what we want to do is turn it inside out and lay our water bottle holder flat so that we can see where the opposite side of where the strap is starting, to help us gauge where we want to attach the strap. And so we want to first mark where we want the strap to attach to, and this just makes it a bit easier for us. So you can see that right where the first stitch starts for our strap, we just want to mark the stitch opposite of that on the holder. And because it's going to also take place across 5 stitches, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, I'm going to mark the 5th stitch as well. And this is an optional process, but I just think it's easier for us to be able to see exactly where the opposite side is. And once we have done that, we can now work on attaching the strap onto the water bottle holder. So this is where the strap left off, and we want to chain 1, and then we will align the strap against the stitch markers. We're going to slip stitch across 5 stitches to connect the strap onto the water bottle holder. So we'll insert our hook underneath that chain 1 through the strap and through the first stitch marker. Grab our yarn and pull through again. So that's our first slip stitch, and we're going to insert our hook into that next stitch. And because you can see that we're inserting our hook into that V shape, so that space, I'm just going to insert my hook through that space, grab my yarn and pull through again. And then insert my hook into that next stitch, because there's a stitch that's easy for us to insert into, and through that stitch on our water bottle holder, and just continuing on, and again all the way through. And then for our 5th stitch, I'm going to insert our hook through our strap, and you can see that 5th stitch marker, and it again is in that V shape space. So I'm just going to remove the stitch marker and insert our hook into that space, because again it's just quite hard to insert into that chain 1 stitch. So I'm just going to insert it through that space, pull through and pull through again. So we've now attached the strap onto the water bottle holder, and you can see it's nice and secure. We are going to chain 1. Now before you cut your yarn, I really do recommend trying the water bottle holder with your water bottle in it and just see how it sits across your body so that you're absolutely happy with how it looks. If you need to do more rows or less rows, now is a good time to actually check. And when we are happy with it, we can use our scissors and grab and cut our yarn and weave through. Can remove my stitch marker too. But see, like the way we've attached the strap, it looks really neat, just like this as well. And we're pretty much done. We're just going to weave in our ends to finish our project. After we have done that, we can turn our water bottle holder right side facing up. And so what I like to do is just to go through a few stitches in different directions, and as we work through, we don't want it to be too tight. You can see I'm just going a few different directions, and because our water bottle holder is inside out already, you won't be able to see me weave the end through from the front. I'm just going to keep going a few more times. And then I just like to tie a little knot for my very last one. So I just weave my yarn through the front like so, and pull tight. Okay, but not too tight so it changes the shape of our work. And then we can cut it and turn, and we just got to do one more to weave through. And there we have it, guys. Look at what we have just made. I'm honestly so proud of us. I really hope you loved making this with me today. Most importantly, I really hope you enjoy using your new water bottle holder. Thank you for crocheting with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye!